All right, are you in the mood? Let's talk about the early years of Bud Smail Jr. Well, we got to start with Clarence B. Smail Sr. marrying Dorothy Mae Refner on November 9, 1935. A little over a year later, on October 25, 1936, Clarence B. Smail Jr., Bud Jr., came into this world. They lived in Buffalo, New York, where Bud Sr. was a manager for the Jewel Tea Company. For a couple years, things were going along all right. But then in 1938, Bud Sr.'s uncle, who owned a Chevrolet dealership in Jeannette, Pennsylvania, called and asked if he would return home in order to help him run his Chevrolet dealership. Well, it didn't take Bud Sr. long to make that decision, and off to Jeannette they went. As Bud was growing up, he spent some of his time with his grandmother at her little cottage up in Muskoka, Canada. He would swim, he would kayak, he would help her around the cottage, and he just had a great life. He was a good-looking young man. And as he got a little older, he started working at the dealership, working in the parts area, some service, and eventually learning a little bit more about the business. He went to Harold's Junior High School, where he met a young lady by the name of Ellen Rita Leone. They became a couple, and you know what? They're still a couple today. In 1954, Bud graduated from Jeannette High School and enrolled in Waynesburg State College for 1 year, and then he transferred to the University of Maryland. Well, let's think about why he would go to Maryland. Well, Ellen had taken a position with the United States Army at the Pentagon in Virginia. Now, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure this out. The University of Maryland was very, very close to the Virginia Pentagon area. Let's move ahead to marriage, family, and dogs. On June 14, 1958, Bud and Ellen were married at the University of Maryland Chapel. They moved back to Jeannette, Pennsylvania, when on March 14, 1959, their first daughter was born. Now think about June 14th, March 14th. Just think about that a moment. Catherine Ann was born in 1959. Mark Allen, their first son, was born in 1961. They kind of took a breather for about 4 years. I don't mean a total breather, but they took a breather, and Jeffrey David was born in 1965. Bud and Ellen were always active in their children's lives, whether it was preschool, grade school, middle school, or high school. They were always there supporting the kids. Kathy eventually became the drum major for the Hempfield Marching Band. Mark played football for the Hempfield Spartans. And Jeff, he was a wrestler for those same Spartans. As time went on, they were educated and eventually married. Kathy married Dr. Ronald Johnson, and today they have 2 children, Megan and Christopher. Mark married, get this now, Kelly Carr, and they have 2 children, Taylor and Marcus. Jeff has a significant friend by the name of Lonnie Pushkas. Jeff has 3 children, Jeffrey, Alexandra, and Jessica. Today, you've seen a lot of photographs of Bud and the children. If you really look closely, you always saw dogs in those photographs. Well, Bud and Ellen and the whole family has had a love of dogs. Bud's dog Sasha unfortunately passed away. But today, he gets a lot of fun having Riley, Bailey, and Jake over. Maybe not all at the same time, but he loves having them around. Let's talk about career and expansion. It's time to do that. In the early 1960s, after Bud had been back working in the dealership, he was very instrumental in working with his dad to move the Lincoln Mercury dealership to Route 30 east of Greensburg. Business got better, and Bud sold more and more cars. A lot of those people that purchased cars were friends from the neighborhood and friends from the Greensburg area. They became closer and closer. And today, many of those folks are with us today, and they're still our customers. In 2006, Bud Smail Lincoln Mercury celebrated its 50th year in business. Some of the members of who worked there at that time are with us tonight. Okay, let's talk about the brother, me, and the sons coming into the business. This is a great story. I had come out of the Army, and Bud really helped me get on my feet with being in the Lincoln Mercury store. But I had this idea about getting into the motorcycle business. So in 1971, we actually started out with snowmobiles. But by 1972, we acquired a Yamaha motorcycle dealership. And shortly thereafter, we added Honda motorcycles, then Honda cars, Pontiac and Cadillac, Mercedes-Benz, Acura, Mazda, GMC, Kia, and finally Ford. I am not saying that that will be the final franchise we add. During that time, our younger brother Bill came into the business in 1980. Mark had graduated from university and came into the business in 1984, followed by Jeff, who amazingly graduated as well from university in 1988. Just kidding. My daughters, Danny and Lindsay, joined the organization in 2007. Well, we've kind of put this whole thing together thus far, so let's talk about some of Bud's really major accomplishments. Not that we haven't already mentioned a few, but these are really the big ones. His industry involvement is maybe almost unparalleled in this region. Not only has he served as president of the Lincoln Mercury Dealers Ad Association for virtually unmentionable amount of years, he was also involved as president of the Greater Pittsburgh Auto Dealers Association. He was chairman of the PAA, which is the Pennsylvania Automobile Dealers Association. He has been on the board of the National Automobile Dealers Association for the past 6 years, just about. He's been involved with the American International Dealers Association and politically active. He has received Manufacturers Awards, the Time Quality Dealer Award. He was a finalist for the American International Dealer of the Year Award. There have been many newspaper articles written about Bud and his contribution to the region, to the industry, and to the community. He's been very politically active. And if you're not politically active today, your business is in jeopardy. He has supported the National Automobile Dealers Dealer Election Fund. He has supported the Pennsylvania Dealer PAC. He has supported numerous candidates with personal donations and really has had the opportunity to meet many of the people that have been very involved in running this country, running this state, and certainly running the county where we do business in, along with Hempfield Township. From a charitable standpoint, Bud has raised money for the American Heart Association, the Flight 93 Memorial. He has served on the board of the University of Pittsburgh Greensburg campus, and he has also served on the board of Westmoreland County Community College. He has also served to raise money for the Cultural Trust here in Greensburg. To say that he's been active on a charitable standpoint in his own community would be an understatement. We've talked about a lot of things, but one of the things that I think are really important are the memories that Bud's had himself through life. He has spent numerous weekends throughout his life with his children and Ellen at their cottage in Muskoka, Canada. Watching them grow, watching them learning to swim, water ski, horse around, having fun, learning to drink beer from them as they got older. Bud's greatest enjoyment, I think, is being out on the water with a beer in hand, listening to a little Jimmy Buffett, and just having a good time looking at the beautiful scenery. He's made many Canadian friends that I know wish they could be here this evening. In 1980, we bought a condominium down in Isla Mirada in the Florida Keys. There again, a lot of boating, a lot of just putting around, taking in the beautiful scenery of the Florida Keys with a beer in hand. We've had a lot of good times together, and he and his family have enjoyed these two vacation homes to a great extent and have had a lot of fun. But more importantly, are his friends right here in the Greensburg area. Whether it was the old neighborhood or the new neighborhood, whether it's friends from many, many years ago or new friends that have recently come into their lives, Bud and Ellen have a group of friends unlike any others. They're constantly on the go, having fun, and spending time with people they really enjoy. With all of this being said, I'd like to wrap this up and talk about one thing, a family business that literally Bud's been so involved with and really helped establish along with our father. He and I have sat beside each other for the last 42, 43 years. We come to work every day. We talk about things. We go over business things. We talk about our families. We have really grown together as brothers. I do not know personally what could be better, but I did figure it out. Not only are he and I involved, but his sons, Mark and Jeff, young Jeffrey now, our brother Bill, and my two daughters, Lindsay and Danny, and my wild man son-in-law, Carl. Every day I come to work, I see my brothers, my nephews, and my daughters. If this is the right definition of a family business, then we really have it. Many people have said to me, I'm sure to Bud as well, that we get along like brothers should. A lot of people might be envious of that, but our families are very, very close, and we've had a great, great relationship. One that'll go on, as far as I hope, forever. Bud is my brother. He is my friend. Without a doubt, he's one of the nicest people in this world. Will Rogers once said, this is a quote by Will, "I never met a man I did not like." Well, I'm going to add to that. I do not know anyone that does not like Bud Smail. He's been a friend to so many. He has touched their lives as they have touched his. He is loved. He is respected. He is my brother.